Anamari Fanthorpe, and I'll be your host today. Today I have Jung here from Jung Business Coach. He's wearing his brand. He is his brand. He's a service-based business in the business coaching space, and I know a lot of folks who actually use him that come on here on Digital Boost. So I was excited to have him come along and share some of his wisdom, but also share some of the things that he uses in his business in order to have a service-based business that's digital. So that uses digital. So we're going to get into that here in a minute. Just a reminder, if you're tuning in on one of the social media platforms or here with us on Zoom, kia ora, welcome. And you can chat with us using the chat function or the comment section, depending on what platform you're on. So go ahead and feel free to drop your questions, comments, or feedback into those areas, and I'll pull them through. And if you've got questions, we'll get Jung to answer them for us. So I just want to give a warm welcome to you. Kia ora, welcome.
Kia ora, Anamari. Thanks for having me. It's an honor.
It's my pleasure. I've actually been really looking forward to this because in my session that I ran the other week, I did like Anamari's 5 top tips, of what I thought was really important for small businesses to make it through the first 2 years. And one of them was having a business coach. So, this ties into that. And so what I'm going to do is get you to tell us a little bit about your story before we get into some of your tips that you're going to help us and get us into the digital tools that you use. I'm going to open up the chat, so I'm going to leave it to you.
Cool. Again, thank you for having me. If you are tuned in, thanks for tuning in. So a little bit of backstory about me. I think I've always loved entrepreneurship and business. If you like, some of us don't like that label, being an entrepreneur. But as a kid, I was always trying to, buy and sell things, selling, feijoas outside the house or something like that. But to bring it closer to the present day, 2011, I started at the Ice House in the sales team there, selling business training. And they were the largest business training organization for small and medium-sized businesses, or SME. In New Zealand at the time. I'm not sure where they sit now. And I found a real passion for, that structure, strategy, organization of thoughts and plans and resources. So business planning, if you like, across all the big functions. I think there's 5 big functions. Kia ora, Tanya. In business, financial management, which us Kiwis love, strategy and planning, which is organizing your thoughts, really. I don't think it needs to be this big, overly complicated thing. Operations, which includes HR, management, leadership, sales, and marketing. And, I just found my passion for kind of understanding all those components of the business and how they kind of fit together. And obviously the Ice House had a lot to do with startup world. So obviously worked with a lot of startups, but I loved, the small and medium stuff. And basically because if we can tune those businesses up that are under $3 million a year, you might be doing $10,000 a month or $5,000 a month or $50,000 a month. It can be very, very meaningful to yourself, the team, your clients and customers, and also your loved ones. I just think small business, it really hits homes and whānaus. So I've got a passion for that. In 2017, I went back into startup world and ran a co-working space or shared space, as you guys might know them as. And then I ran a leadership training company where we taught a lot of positive psychology, holistic well-being to some of the corporate CEOs. So got quite a breadth of experience there. And then I realized, hey, look, I miss small business. And so I kind of went out on my own. Would have been 2018, kind of as a sideline kind of thing. In 2019, went quite serious into business coaching and working with small businesses to, organize their plans and thoughts, and then, coach them and keep them accountable to execute.
Oh, thank you, Jung. And you managed to rattle on there. It takes me a minute to get all the platforms set up. You're like, oh, what else have I done? Sorry about that. It is a little bit of a clunky system we've got going on here.
Well done.
So I wanted to get into a little bit of some of the challenges that you've experienced service-based business. And can we focus maybe on the last 2 years? Because I think that that has been the major shift for service-based business has been the last 2 years, and how we've managed to navigate that and what kind of changes you put in place. And, we can segue kind of a little bit with that information. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I think a little bit of context that I'll raise right now is that, it was always a little bit of a goal of mine prior to, the whole last 2.5 years of, lockdowns, etc. To work more from home, as opposed to being a business coach, typically driving around Auckland, sitting in Auckland traffic, eating whatever you can on the go type of thing, working from, a cafe or even a car park, what have you. So it was always kind of a goal, and the move home that we were kind of pushed into, it really expedited that. I think if you follow Zoom shares, they skyrocketed as we all started working from home a lot more. And as a service-based business, I think a lot of service-based businesses have had to get their head around it, including health practitioners like physios and osteos, etc. So for us, it was already on the radar. We used our Google Calendar to organize meetings. We had a number of Zoom meetings. I would say we were close to 50-50 prior to moving to the work from home movement that kind of came through. Obviously, you've got to be a lot more effective with email and sharing visuals, I think, on Zoom as a business coach when you're trying to relay, somewhat sophisticated topics, and obviously building rapport. I think one of the challenges we noticed was the market's reluctance to, no, we need to meet in person, especially Kiwis, and I'm very much the same, and I totally agree. There is no quality of interaction or communication like meeting in person. But in saying that, I think video is probably a close second to meeting in person. And I think if you've got the right skill set, I guess, or even experience or intention, you can make video conferencing very, very effective at one, getting to know the other person, two, building rapport, and then three, navigating through quite sophisticated topics. And so that was our challenge. And to be honest,
wait, I want to stop you there, Jung, because I'm gonna put you right on the spot, because we did a session on Zoom last week, and I just want to know, this is your expertise. Do you have like maybe 2 hot tips or 3 hot tips for building rapport quickly on a video conference? Go.
First one is
seriously.
First one is have the intention that, hey, look, it's video, right? And I'm going to let them come into the room, whether it's Google Meets, Zoom, Skype, whatever you're using. Let them come into the room, get their audio sorted, get their video sorted, check that their internet connection's okay. Have they got a cup of tea? Have they got a pen and paper? All those types of things. It's just like meeting in person. You don't just kind of come in, hello, welcome to, it's 10 a.m. We're going to kick right in, right? And so let them get comfortable and have the intention to build rapport. I think have the intention to do that. And however you do that, hi, how are you? It's only a couple of minutes, but it just helps to break that ice. Second thing would be have an agenda and share that agenda. Like Anamari did today, I think, you're one of the best presenters I've seen in a very long time. And
I'll pay you later for that one, John.
And, but you've got to set that up, what are we going to move through today? It just puts people at ease, and it allows them to kind of align and arrive into the energy or the space that you're trying to provide. And actually a quick third one is bring your rapport, bring your energy. I think if you kind of sit here and we're in a library and I want to talk really, really quietly and things like that, it doesn't work. Like, be yourself. It's almost like we're in a room. So that would be my 3.
Yeah, no, good on you. Look, I just right on the spot, but I knew you'd be able to handle it because this is what you do. And yeah, so I think that's really good, because I think that that's one of the things that we have to do as service-based businesses. I mean, there was lots of funny memes of alleyways behind apartments with heaps of furniture in it, as every yoga teacher threw out every piece of furniture they own so they could run all the yoga classes from home. It was which was pretty comical, as I have been in that industry for a number of years. But Yeah, we've got a comment here. I agree. It's quite amazing how effective this can be, even with deeply vulnerable work with people. I've just come off of a 3-day course as a support person, and people were able to use the tools effectively. This was an all-day event in each of the 3 days. And you know what? That's pretty amazing there, Catherine, as well, because full-day events, we had to really become accustomed to being online and on video. I remember it being very exhausting in the beginning, being on just on video meetings all day. But I think we've really acclimated to that. And I think people are pretty used to it now. And so we can do a little bit more than we probably could in the beginning. So I want to ask you, and in the last 2 years, look, we've all experienced some hardships, but I think we've all experienced some successes. It doesn't have to be financial success. Could be some other form of like, wow, I was really nervous about what was going to happen in my business, but what it maybe do is grow, or and because of that, it's positioned me in a way that I am in a better position than I was before. Have you felt, what are some successes that you've found with going digital and taking your service-based business more digital?
Yeah, look at reach. Just to cut to the chase, we just got more reach. Again, one of the challenges was, migrating some of our current clients who are used to me kind of turning up at the office on Thursday at 10 a.m. kind of thing, moving them to Zoom slowly. I think it was a behavioral and a mindset change. And so as a coach, we kind of needed to be considerate of that. And so we migrated that. But yeah, right, efficiency and reach. And so, yeah, it is growth in the business. And if I'm honest, our business probably, doubled over the last couple of years in terms of revenue. But the reach really. And so, I've got clients all across the country, Blenheim, Christchurch, Wellington, Whangarei. And so getting digital enabled us to have that reach. And then it also gave us a little bit more marketing tools, I think, because everything was on video. And if the other party was happy for us to record a little snippet or what have you, it fed our marketing. And then efficiency. And I think that was another profit driver for us, is that, instead of, taking an hour to get across, the city, really, I kind of quickly ran to the bathroom, maybe had a cup of tea, and then I came and sat back down, and I'm ready for my next billable hour, right? Being a service-based business. So I would say, profit, reach, and it definitely enabled us to build more assets for marketing.
So not all service-based businesses enable you to just have conversations, and kind of strategize that way. Now, you are a business coach, so I'm going to put you on the spot again, Jung, because I just feel like you can handle it.
I hope so.
As for the service-based businesses that are more touch-based, require touch, or require, there's a lot of service-based businesses, and I don't mean like touch as in human physical touch, although I do, like massage therapists or things like that, but other people who, maybe they clean homes, or maybe they, do things like that. What kind of approach do you say to them to kind of, because you'd want to be basically expanding the base of your business, right? Trying to figure out a different way that you could monetize some value that you have to people. What's maybe one strategy that you've come up with to help people kind of do that with these times?
So I think, we had a number of physio and health practitioner clients at the time. And so cleaning, house cleaning, that's a really, really challenging one. What I will say is, first off, you need to be open to adapting, evolving, pivoting, was the buzzword that people were throwing around with this. And look, we're business owners. And so whether you're changing your product or service, changing your target market, changing your brand, changing your marketing, we're constantly pivoting, adapting, and evolving. And so I think you need to get your head around that one. When it comes to health practitioners, there's a very specific strategy we could talk about, is that, you develop, you've got a process for when someone comes into your medical room. You've got a process, and you kind of welcome them, you build rapport, you get them comfortable, you start to ask some questions, do a diagnosis, right? And so it's about building that digitally, I think. And so everything needs to become digital. And then outside of tools, first I'm going to go to IP. It's about having the IP, you know. So can I help them to self-diagnose, like massage or physical therapy kind of thing? You know, okay, is there pain here? If you put your arm here, is there pain there? So it's around evolving from having to be in person to, you know, using whatever tools you have to still deliver the outcome, right, or the value that your service delivers.
I would say also, you know, I think some really cool things that happened were taking a look at the industry that you're in and just tweaking the way that you present that industry. So for example, you know, massage, it could be about, you know, it could be about self-massage. It could be about, you know, tips that you're giving that people can, you know, tune in and talk about massage. It could be moving to more of a, well, massage is about relaxation. Maybe I'm learning about how to use meditation or mindfulness a little bit more and bringing that into my practice, which I can definitely do online, even though, you know, we like to do it in person as well. I mean, you can do recordings and you can monetize those recordings. You can, you know, there's lots of different ways that we can kind
100%.
of shift what we're doing so that we can expand our business model. So that's really interesting. I love that. I love that. And even doctors had to do that, you know, diagnosing on the phone. I mean, it was on video, it was all over. That's all we were doing.
Right. And I think the key strategy is, if you can, you know, grab the peripheral IP around the actual physical service, and then, you know, productize that. And, or, you know, with massage, can I sell self-massage tools as an example, and products? So yeah, moving to IP and products is probably the #1 strategy. Strongly agree. And I love how it's given, you know, doctors and health practitioners and a lot of service-based businesses more reach, I think, and more efficiency.
Yeah, I mean, not everything's going to work. And like Gil said here, like a housekeeping business, executive type in a small clicky town, it's not that simple. Look, it's really not. And we're not discounting that. And we're not saying that there's a perfect solution at all.
No.
I think that it just gave us a really good have a look at what we're doing. And let's figure out if there is something that we can do to subscription base or to, you know, something else that we can add in there so that we can cushion our business, you know, in these times. So, you know, how can you collaborate? How can you, you know, we talk about collaboration. That was in my 5 top tips. I'm just saying.
Love that.
You know, support, you know, and collaboration was in that. But okay, so let's move on from that. And I appreciate you just putting yourself out there and really just lending your expertise in these areas. Let's talk about your business in particular and some of the tools that you use. And then I want to go into some of your getting everybody's mojo back, because I know you wanted to share some of that today. And I really thought that at this time of year, I call it the push. This is the time of year when we're all getting exhausted, but we've still got a bit to go before we're going to get to the end of the year, especially people in retail, in, you know, some of these businesses where they're just hyping up, you know, but you're pretty tired. So I'm keen to get some of these mojo moments with you. So let's talk about the digital tools you use first. I know that you've got some tabs open on your computer that you wanted to share, and I reckon we just crack into those. So, and then while you start to open that up, we've got a comment here. Catherine's just saying, getting some great new ideas coming from your discussion. Wonderful. And yes, you are describing what have we done in the last 3 days. As an arborist, would it be a good idea to collaborate with idea of pushing to plant/people, plant/help people learn about what trees and how to plant them? Absolutely. Yes. Like I'm going to jump in there too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, there's so much you could do with that in awareness, as well as, you know, workshops online to talk about plant identification and talk about the best ways of doing those, where people could kind of learn via online and imagery. And, you know, you can still go out into nature, you know what I mean? Like you could still go out into nature and kind of share those things. And then people could have a watch of that and ask questions about things that they're doing. Yeah, I love that. I love that point of difference as well. It's amazing. Go ahead, Jung. Thank you so much.
Yeah, great. Look, I love that. Actually, one tip I might suggest, especially for the arborist, like, is that a good idea? And that's such a big question to answer, business owner person. To be honest, business is a lot of experiments. Even if you're providing an existing service, my suggestion is try and answer that question yourself. For anyone who's tuning in, thinking about, can I pivot like this? Can I create a new product or service like this? Can I get more scale like this? You've got to ask yourself, start with the market. Is it going to be valuable to them? And make your best hypothesis. What problem does it solve? What problem do they have? What's their desire levels of wanting to solve that? And that would start to determine your pricing, etc. And then, is that something that I would enjoy? I think that's the very second thing. First thing is it valuable to the market? Is it really, really valuable to somebody or a group of people? And is it something that I'll enjoy, creating and providing and serving? I think those are the top two questions you got to ask yourself when considering, launching new products or services.
I love that. I didn't even think about that. Like, of course, I just think, yep, diversify, but I love the idea, the second point of, is it going to bring you joy as well?
Right.
Super important, isn't it? Because sometimes you can add things to your business and they start to really weigh you down, and then you can't kind of get rid of them.
In my world, I see so much of that all day, every day, where we become a servant to our business. And we've got to try to remember that we started this thing. We are the owner. We are the controller, and so configure it in a way that it just brings you so much joy, because potentially you're going to be doing this for the rest of your life. So I think it's really, really important. Okay, so some of the tech that we use, again, we kind of look at 5 key areas in your business. And so I've got examples of what we use in each of the 5 key areas. Financial management, which is so key. I know us Kiwis don't necessarily enjoy it. I hate spreadsheets. I hate numbers too. But it's really, really important in business. Strategic planning. So finance, strategic planning, operations, including HR and management, sales, and marketing. So if I just kind of move through Xero, I love Xero, Kiwi-based company. Shout out to Rod Drury and the team that built this. It's beautiful, simple accounting software, even more so than just being Kiwi. Your only other alternative really is MYOB or Mind Your Own Business, or specific industry accounting softwares. I love Xero. And so we look at the P&L, just to give you an example. And
this is a demo account, by the way, just so everybody knows. This is a
demo. I've got a demo account. Obviously, I have a number of clients in here, but we want to.
Yeah, we don't want to see them.
No. We want to keep that. We want to keep that sensitive here. So we do, and then we look at the profit and loss at least once a month. If you do have a cash flow forecast, I recommend building that. But everything you do in business, if you're good at marketing, if you're good at sales, if you're good at leadership, if you've got a great product or service, it will show here. And so it's a nice scoreboard for everything that you are doing as a business owner. And so, finance was the first piece of software we use, or digital we use is digital accounting software. Second thing is actually the Google suite of products. I think it's called Google Office now. And this is actually a template, an example of a cash flow forecast. So really, really generic information. But this is really what matters to us smaller businesses that are doing less than $3 million a year, is kind of where our bank balances are at. Because if you know that I'm going to have 15,000 or 33,000 in the bank account, then I can start to really make some of these real business plans. When people come and ask me for a business plan, they usually are asking about, how do I do more marketing? How do I get more sales? How do I expand, lease a warehouse, or hire more team? And really the answer is you can't do any of it if you don't have cash. So we need to have some kind of forecast here so that we can see when you can start to make these reinvestments. So when it comes to financial management, largely it is accounting software plus Google Sheets. We love the Google Docs because they're live, they're collaborative, they update real time. The second thing is the calendar. And I can't stress this enough. This is probably one of the biggest problems that I see and have seen for years and years and years with business owners, especially of small businesses, is that we're not organized around our time. And that can be a result of not being organized in your thoughts and your plans. But it's a chicken and the egg scenario. I think you've got to work on both ends of that. So here's an example of a calendar. Look, and it's synced on all of our devices. So it's on the phone, it's on the laptop, any other device you might have. Sometimes you can share your calendars with your team members. And I think one little tip that I will give here is that I put my personal stuff in here too. Like, wake up, go to the gym, eat lunch kind of thing, because I can be guilty of kind of just working in between clients. Obviously, I'm a service-based business. If you're a products-based business, it might look slightly different. But you've got to be organized. I just can't stress that enough. And you've got to have rhythms. And so, I'll do finance on a Monday, marketing on a Monday, catch up with the team, what have you. I even review my personal finances on a Monday. I'm not a numbers person, but I've trained myself to be more organized around them because they're that important. Keeping on moving, Anamari, I think you're in the comments.
Yeah, I'm just everywhere.
Okay, cool.
I'm on all the platforms. I know you can tell because my eyes are jumping around. Just sorting people out on LinkedIn and Facebook. Everyone seems pretty happy, and just explaining to everybody that you don't need to see those numbers. Those are just demo accounts, and just showing us what digital tools he uses. So you don't need to follow along. All good there. I actually learned a new thing about Google Calendar today. I'm going to blow people's minds right now. So I use Calendly. I've been using Calendly for about 2 years or a year and a half now. I've now dropped Calendly because Google has its own calendar schedule functionality within it, and you don't need to actually use another platform to do that. So I've just done that this morning, actually. So if you go into Google Calendar, Jung, and then go to your create, but go to the arrow where it's got like create an event with the plus sign, go to the arrow. And then if you see appointment schedule there, what you can do is you can actually set your days of the week and times and how long the appointments are. If they get a reminder, a little message, you do need to turn on that functionality. It's default turned on, I believe. So, but if you wanted to check, if you go to general settings, and then you go down from your, go into settings, go to, you're in general right now, go all the way down to appointment schedules, go back up. Yep, right there. And then see how it's already ticked there. It says appointment schedules below the offline. That's already ticked, which means that you can use that to create, to use that functionality that I just showed you before, and you can add a URL link to your email, and people can book straight through. So you don't have to. So sorry, Calendly. Sorry, I've dropped it. I'm now just using everything through Google because I use Google anyway. So now I can do all my appointment bookings through there. So it just kind of is one less system for me to use. So I'm pretty happy with that.
I love that, man. That is a great digital tip. Again, just for scheduling appointments, that's just to back that one up, Anamari, I just think so much time is, I wouldn't say wasted, but used on, hey, can you do Thursday at 11 a.m. or and it's just crazy the amount of time you can save by just having a link. And we're still using Calendly. We're actually thinking about moving to Squarespace, who build our website, or we build our website on for their scheduling tool, because we need a little bit more. So as an example, for anyone who is looking at that kind of software, this is what it kind of looks like. And so this is the health check that we do for Digital Boost members. We've got a couple of slots here. It's really, one, saves you time as the business owner. It's just, hey, click on the link and book in a time that kind of suits you. Now that I know that Google does it, it's going to be interesting to see if we can have this type of. You can
have that whole message in there. So when they click on it, it'll have that whole message. You can click the time thing. It'll do all the same stuff. So it'll just be all in one system. But switched over, because I'm the same as you, Jung, and a lot of people, I would say, in the service-based based business, if you have a consultation that you need to do first, something like that doesn't have to be really quick. I mean, it doesn't have to be really long, but the amount of time I was spending going back and forth with providers and suppliers going, hey, can you do Thursday? Hey, can you do Wednesday? Hey, right. This just, I mean, it saves me so much time. I go, look, there's a link to, I go, fantastic. Looking forward to catching up with you. I send them all the details. Well, all the details about what we're going to talk about. And then I say, and now just pick a time that works for you. It's in my calendar. I don't have to do anything. They've got the link already. I would highly suggest, if you're using calendars for that, put the link for the Google Calendar in the chat. Yes, I can. I'll even put a video for you in the chat.
Oh, I love that.
Because our guy, Jaron, who's a total star, who does our tech, he actually gave us a little video link, and it'll show you exactly how to do that. So I'll drop it in the chat for you right now. It's a long link, sorry. And I'll drop it across the platforms. But I would say, Jung, why don't we get into, so is that all your digital tools? Are you pretty happy with that? Or...
Yeah. Oh, look, there's obviously the Facebook stuff. We run groups, so we build our community in a Facebook group. Yeah. So this is the Biz Gym, where we pump in a lot of content around guides, business plans, what have you, and obviously run our group sessions out of here. And so we have a weekly Biz Gym session with a whole bunch of business owners. So use Facebook. I think, like you're saying, I think consolidate too. You don't necessarily need a whole lot of subscriptions to a whole lot of different digital services. Google Slides, Canva for design and marketing, but also for us, which is something I think we're going to go through in a couple of weeks' time. You know, our business planning workbooks, tutorials, worksheets, what have you. We've built a lot of IP. So going back to service-based businesses.
Just define IP so that everybody knows what it is. You use it a lot.
Okay, yeah. So IP is intellectual property, really, and it's. If we go back to the arborist example, you know, it's what IP do I have? If I can't go and physically work on trees, you know, what other information is probably another way to put it. What other information can I package up into a video? I think they were talking about, putting it on a website or something like that, where, hey, you could consider these trees or those trees, they're low maintenance, or they love the shade and they love the sun, what have you. And so IP is about, and for a lot of service-based businesses, we've already had to do this, is, you know, think about what information that is unique to your experience or skills or business or training that you can package up. So as an example, I've just got a business planning process as a business coach, right? And there's kind of 8 boxes, and I'll take you through them. And or you could even kind of go through them yourself. And we've made it into a product in Canva, and then we can send it out and we can share that with a lot more people, as opposed to me having to drive to your office and sit in front of you, or you drive to my office, sit in front of you and take you through it on a whiteboard or a piece of paper. We digitized it, if you like.
Do you have, so when you I can't remember, what is our workshop coming up on? What are we doing our workshop on?
Oh, business planning. Yeah. How to get more out of your business. Yeah. If I can check, I think that's.
I'm gonna have a look. It's modern business planning in 2022. So we're gonna be talking about. You're gonna leave with a strategic action plan that you can start implementing right away. You're gonna learn Jung's business planning process and template, so you can use it whenever you like. You're going to identify specific actions you can take to improve your business, not general business plans, which aren't relevant. And you're going to meet other business owners to network, brainstorm, support, and problem solve together. That's on the 20th of October. So if you want to tune in for that workshop and get some kind of, not one-to-one, but well, it kind of is in our workshop settings, tune in on 20th of October. That event is already live up on the website if you want to book in. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn, you got to book in on the website, because it's a closed session so that people can turn on their cameras and their mics. So that's really cool. So tune in for that 20th of October for business planning, kind of taking for business planning 2022. And it's really like for 2023, really, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's business planning for your next year, for your business in general, but it's business planning now. Like, if you haven't reviewed, would you say that, how often do you think you should review your business plan or what you're doing? Is that something that you do? You know more about this. I don't know a whole lot about this. That's why I wanted to do the session, to be honest.
Right. Look, and I think it's contextual, but you know, as a general rule, if you're under $1 million a year, I'd say it's monthly. Because because it doesn't have to be this big. You know, I think goal setting is maybe an annual thing, and I think as business owners in New Zealand, we kind of think business planning is like an annual kind of thing. But I think that's goal setting. You know, I want to work 30 hours this week, or I want to make $5 million this year. I think that's an annual kind of thing. But when you break it down into a plan, especially with the way we do it, because in a small business under $1 million, you know, under $100,000 a month, things are moving and changing so quickly. And so I think your planning coming down from your goals, make $5 million a year, or just have a lifestyle business and work 30 hours a week, the plan, the implications of that goal on the plan, you need to bring it down to an action level. What am I going to do this month to do that? You know, I'm going to fire X clients, or I'm going to build IP so that I don't have to be there as many hours of the week or we're going to do more digital marketing. And that's one thing we didn't talk about. We use, Squarespace as a website, and then Facebook, but there's a million different options you can have, Google Ads, etc., etc. But I think if you've broken down your plans to a actionable level, which makes your business plan that much more relevant and that much more practical, and therefore more valuable, then you should be reviewing it monthly, right? Which might only take 30 minutes, by the way, which is actually the process we're going to show people in a week and a half or 9 days on the 20th of October.
20th of October. We're going to get into it, and this will be great because you guys will actually have the time to work on it while we're doing it. So it's not like you're going to come and listen and then leave, and then you've got to go do the work. We're going to get the work done, and you can kind of build upon that work afterwards. And I love that. So I want to kind of, I guess, finish up our session. I love chatting with you. I always find that I get so much value out of our conversations. And
me too.
and I know that you wanted this session. You've really felt a vibe that's been going through small businesses, business owners in general over the past. I'll get to you, Catherine. I'll answer you in just a second. So you've felt a vibe by small business owners and medium business owners in general over the past kind of year or so, and you wanted to kind of share some wisdom with us about getting our mojo back, about getting our business, getting our game face back on. And so I want to kind of leave it to you. I'm going to answer some of these chat things, and I'm going to just put myself on mute and let you kind of run this part of the session yourself.
Okay, thanks, Anamari. So actually, yeah, a little bit of context. I think that's actually shifted. I think maybe 3 to 6 months ago, what I was definitely feeling, we're in a couple of big Facebook groups, one's got 9,000 business owners, the other one's got 10,000 business owners. I talk to a lot of business owners all day, every day. And, 3 to 6 months ago, we were just feeling this kind of fatigue, right? If you're a business owner and you've been operating in this environment, the last 2.5 years has been really, really crazy, lockdowns, having the kids at home, wars going on, petrol prices, inflation, potential incoming recession. And I was feeling a lot of fatigue in the market. Whereas actually, to be honest, over the last 3 or 2 months, I've actually kind of feel like a little bit of normality's come back in. People are kind of just, or business owners are kind of just getting things done. And I hope that is the case for you. If you are feeling a little bit of what I was calling kind of COVID fatigue or just business owner fatigue, right? There's just been a lot of big problems thrown at us, which meant that we had to adapt and find solutions to those problems. Then we've got some tips that kind of might help you. And then as Anamari mentioned too, we're about to get into the Christmas rush. Actually, we've got a Christmas planner. If you do want to get organized for Christmas around your finances, around operations, around your marketing, then feel free to get in touch with us. Sorry, Anamari, I'm not sure how we're going to do that, but maybe drop a comment in the thing and we can get you the business planner template that you can work through yourself. But yeah, it's about to be silly season, and I think we've got to keep our mojo up. As a business owner, I think that it gets pretty lonely sometimes. The buck always stops with you. When there's a problem in marketing, it's you. When someone's away sick, it's you. When there's a problem with a client or a customer, it's eventually going to be you. And obviously the financial problems, right? It's our reputation on the line. It's our savings. It's our personal guarantee on the house. What have you. It always kind of stops with us. And so if your head's right, if you're firing, if you're loving it, if you're vibing, if you're in joy and in flow, the business is going to perform a certain way. And the opposite is true too. If you're not feeling it, you're depressed or anxious or procrastinating, worried, it's going to affect the business, right? Side note, please take care of yourselves. In saying that a stomach ulcer or, health issues can also affect the performance of the business, right? Your ability to lead the business and lead the team, your ability to do effective marketing, do effective sales, or lead effective marketing, lead effective sales, and then, provide an excellent product or service will be affected by your health and or mental health, which is why we are talking about mojo. And so 8 tips that I have is, take some time for yourself. If you are feeling overwhelmed, fatigued, just tired, burnt out, or in a funk and you don't have your mojo back, you're not optimistic, when you start your business, you're so optimistic, right? And then, just over the last, this year, I just definitely noticed that was kind of fading away. But again, I think a lot of people have come back from that. A lot of businesses have come back from that. But if you are, take some time for yourself is number one. Actually, depending on how bad it is, number two is very quickly, motion creates notion. And so move, right? Stop whatever it is you're doing and go for a walk or go for a run or hit the gym or F45 or CrossFit or basketball or tennis, whatever it is you do, but get moving, right? Get the blood flowing, get the endorphins flowing, get the oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine, endorphins, get those all flowing, right? Get into a good headspace. Depending again on how bad it is, number three would be, appreciation and gratitude. Remember where you came from. Remember when you started this thing. I mean, I don't know if employees had it that much better over the last few years. I think some of them did. But I think you've got to acknowledge yourself and where you came from, right? And remember that you're a business owner, so you've got this, right? The world will change. There will still be humans. They will still need, products and services of some sort. But you just need to be up for the challenge, right? To adapt. Little side note, Facebook and pretty much the iPhone or iPhone 3 were launched in a recession, right? So 2007. And they, are some of the biggest brands and businesses in the world right now. So when is the best time to start a business? It's the same time as the best time to plant a tree. I think it's yesterday kind of thing.
Love it.
Cool. Few more tips.
Yeah, go for it. You keep going with your tips. I'm just here to support. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Number four is know your why. Why are you doing this? Is it because you want to pay the house off really, really quickly, or you want to send the kids to private school, or you want to be your own boss? For a lot of us, it's actually that we want to be our own boss. But number four is know your why. Number five is know your goals. So I strongly recommend, revisiting those. Number six is make a plan, right? So take those goals. I want to work 30 hours a week, or I want to make $5 million, and turn them into a plan. What does my financial management look like? What does my team look like? What does my sales look like? What does my marketing look like? What does my product or service look like? What's my pricing? Make a plan. Number seven, focus. If that really is your goal, then everything else doesn't matter, right? Shall we go play basketball on Friday? No, I'm busy because I'm building up my marketing or I'm building up my product. And number seven is, man, remember, we got this, right? You're a business owner. You have challenges all day, every day, right? And so challenges is not the problem, right? I think it's when there are so many challenges, the big challenges, that we can start to get some fatigue, or we're overwhelmed, with this Christmas rush that is coming up. And so, take some time, get organized. And those are our tips. If you want to jump, if I want to throw across to you again, Anamari.
I love these tips. I'm just loading back up. I love these tips. The chat has been going off the chain, I must say.
Wow.
Usually I can get away with a little bit of floating, around and being really ever present in these sessions, but the chat has just been buzzing. Lots of good insight in this talk, and I'm really looking forward to that kind of deep dive, I guess, into developing our business action plans on the 20th of October. I think it's going to be really great. I've really appreciated this session today, and I feel like we got lots of little nuggets there related to lots of things. So yes, thank you. Thank you for this Tuesday session. I really appreciate you. And I know that all of Digital Boost does as well, and looking forward to doing more work with you. If you have any additional questions for Jung, actually, they've been really generous and have extended an offer to Digital Boost. So some of you have actually taken advantage of that and had a chat. But if you go ahead onto the special offers page, there is an offer there. I know it's going to be modified slightly, I believe, coming up soon. So do make sure that you check out our special offers page, because we have lots of offers from providers and suppliers of various different things, like lots of range there. To find that, when you go on the main dashboard, you just need to scroll down and it says provider offers in really big letters. And then in small, tiny letters, it says here, and that's where you click. And sorry about that. We are working on it. We're reworking the whole dashboard so that it's more user-friendly and that it's more accessible. Please bear with us. It's a huge site to kind of rework. If you need any additional support with some of the things that we talked about today that maybe is not related to this specifically, maybe it was one of the digital tools like getting that Google Calendar set up, you can always contact Digital Boost or support. Sorry, let me try that again. Blah, blah, blah. Support at digitalboost.co.nz, and we are here to help you out. So Jung just showed us how that you can access that business coach offer there. It's right on the special offers page. We love to have a conversation with you. We can set up a video call. If you need an interpreter, we can do that as well. You know, we work a lot of different things to make sure that you have access. So yeah, and thank you, my Zoom 12. Namihi, see you next time. And yeah, thanks, guys. Have a great day. See you on Thursday, hopefully. We're going to be breaking down SEO fundamentals. You could check it out as well, Jung. Just saying, we've got Business Refinery coming on, Azriel, and he's an expert in SEO. That's like what they do. And SEO is a scary topic, right? Like we're like, SEO, what? Search engine optimization? I don't know what to do. How do I get to the top of Google? You know, and so we're going to break it down in a workshop where you're actually going to have a bit of fun, scary thought to combine the two. And yeah, we're going to be able to work on your business a little bit. We're going to look at a couple of people's businesses if they're willing to put them out there to us on Thursday, but we're going to show you and demystify all the language and how to actually do a like kind of a little bit of an investigation on your website yourself and what to look for and how to know how to fix it. So it should be really cool. But 20th of October, get your business model in place. Thanks, Chun.
Thanks, Anamari. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, kaki day. Have a great day, guys. Get in touch. We love to hear from you. See you guys soon. You're welcome.